Hi everybody, this is Judy Tuttle from Tuttle Up Stamping. I'm an independent Stampin' Up demonstrator now from Midland, Texas. I just moved to Midland from Lincoln, Nebraska. So this is my first live video from my new space. So welcome. If you come on, let me know you're here. It's a new time and a new space going on. I'm gonna get you all connected to my computer, and yeah, looks like I'm here, and we're starting to get some people jumping on. So thanks for coming. I realize that this time is not a good time for everyone, but it's the best time for me, and I decided to go with it. So welcome to my new Tuttle Up stamping room. I have a bedroom in our new house. I love it for a lot of reasons. It's actually a smaller space than what I had in Lincoln. In Lincoln, I kind of took over the whole basement. But I feel like it's more efficient, and I won't have to be running around as much. And I have everything I need pretty close to me here. Lots of space still this way. And I'm gonna get used to it. I've got it about 90% ready to go. So still some things to do, always some things to do, but I'm glad to be able to be with you today. I have missed so much doing my Facebook Lives with all my friends. So again, when you jump on, leave me a comment, let me know you're here. I always give something away to people who comment and share my videos. So it'll be a set of cards. It'll be the cards that I'm making today that I will be giving away next Monday at noon. So thanks for coming to watch. We have a lot going on with Stampin' Up right now. The most important thing that we have going on, hi Becky, thanks for coming. I miss you a ton. I just got back, so those of you who don't know me very well, we just moved, like I said, from Lincoln, Nebraska to Midland, Texas. So in the last month, and well, maybe 5 weeks, we've sold a house, bought a house. I've retired. My husband and I were separated for several weeks. Now we're reunited. We went on the amazing Stampin' Up Norway trip cruise that was just incredible. Great way to end my school year and kick off my retirement. And people were asking, how's retirement? I'm like, well, so far it's pretty amazing, right? Every day we opened our curtains in our cabin and looked out on our balcony, and it was just breathtaking views. It was just amazing. So we returned back last Monday, a week ago in the evening. I've spent almost all of my time putting together my craft room so that I could be with you today. So thanks for joining me. So what you need to know about what's going on in the Stampin' Up world. There is a designer series paper sale going on, 15% off a select number of designer series papers. The paper we're using today is one of the ones that are on sale, so that's pretty awesome. And then we also have a great joining deal. Usually you can get the starter kit for $99 and you get $125 of whatever you want. But right now, only in the month of June, you can get $155 worth of stuff for $99. So that is like a lot more. $30 more. And there are more benefits to joining a team than just getting, hello, Hannah, thanks for joining me. I got to give your upline a hug on the cruise, so it was nice to see Hattie. She's just so sweet. So, okay, so if you are on a team, you get 20% off. Hi, Kathy, thanks for joining. You get 20% off of anything you want in all your future purchases after you buy the starter kit. So if the designer series paper is on sale for 15%, you get another 20% off of that. So anytime there's a clearance sale or any other sale, you get double discounts on top of that, which is super fun. I give my team members all my PDFs for free. Of all my classes. We have team meetings, we have support. You don't have to do what I'm doing. You can just be a little happy discount shopper, which is what most people on my team are. And we just really enjoy a community of people who love to stamp and create and give love to people through creating cards. Hi, Sue. Thanks for coming on. I just got a notification that you came on. Okay, so one of the things that's cool about being on a team is that sometimes they let us buy things early. So there's a new set of online exclusives coming out. July the 6th, I believe, is the day. It would be July the 4th, but July the 4th is a big holiday, right? So it'll be coming out on July the 6th. They have a new Christmas set, which is really fun. It's a whole suite where you get the stamp set, the dies, you can buy the paper and the embellishments all ready to go. I'm excited about getting this because our holiday catalog doesn't come out until September. So I love to do a Christmas in July class, and so I'm looking forward to being able to use, it's called One Horse Open Sleigh. And then there's another one down here, a more floral set with lots of little floral dies. That's called Timeless Charm. So one of the great things about, hi Chelsea, being a demonstrator is that they let us sometimes buy these exclusive things, definitely new catalog merchandise, that sort of thing, before anybody else can get their hands on it. So that is super fun. But the biggest reason you want to be on a team and is for the 20% discount. I mean, it just allows you to get more for less money, right? Or more for less, maybe. I don't know. Okay, so I'm going to turn my camera down. If you are watching me for the first time and you are not a part of my email list, I would love to get you on that. That's the fastest, easiest way to know about everything I'm offering. I'm going to get started getting my calendar set up for online and in-person classes here in Midland, Texas. And online means I send you the kit and we do it online together. So lots of ways that we can do some fun things together. Oh, yay, Hannah. I know. I'm so excited about it as well. Okay, so give me just half a second here. I'm going to turn my camera down and around and then down. And then hopefully you can see my hands. It's my first time doing this, so I'm hoping that this all works the way we want it to. So, oh, there we go. You know, not bad, right? So, okay. So we are going to be using today the ink and tiled stamp set. It comes in a bundle with these two punches. This is where the tiled part comes in. We're going to use those on our card today. You can also get this beautiful inked Botanicals paper. And I'm telling you, I love the colors. These colors are just my color favorites. So you got some Lost Lagoon, some Pool Party, some Calypso Coral, some Crushed Curry in there, and some Petal Pink. So aren't these all just big, beautiful, bold, colorful? There's some leaves, patterns. You can do a ton of things with all this, and I love Lost Lagoon. So I'm so excited that that is color that they brought back. And then, of course, they all have a backside, which is also a print, and it's super, super fun, super colorful, super fun. So this is, I love this paper too, Sue. As soon as, you know what, I'm not sure I loved it. I have to tell you guys, I'm not sure I loved it when I saw it in the catalog, but I ordered it because I loved this. And as soon as I got it in my hands, some of my team members can tell you, I opened it up and I went, oh, I love that paper. So we're going to be using, and remember this is on sale right now for 15% off. So if you would like to get this online class to go, you need to place an order in my store. And right here is the information about that, TuttleUpShop.com. If you use this host code, which is 9RSB6RRE, then you can get a kit of 6 cards, 2 each of the 3 designs, And what do I include in that? I include the ribbon. I include the designer series paper, everything you need to make the card that I made, a piece of white that you will need the punch to punch out, okay, and the cardstock. And I also include a piece of white to put inside. So that is what you get in your kit this time. And if you place a $35 order, you can get the kit to make 6 of the cards, okay? If you place a $50 order, I always throw in either a pack of ribbon or embellishments to go with your kit. So that's how that works, okay? So our first card, I'm using this beautiful designer series paper from that Ink and Tiled designer series paper. And I also cut a couple of little pieces of coordinating designer series paper. So I'm using this one here that is the Lost Lagoon with the pool party kind of sprigs on it. And then I'm using this piece here to put underneath it. So this piece is 3/4 of an inch by 3.5 inches. And this piece is 1 inch by 2.5 inches. And then this designer series paper is 4 by 5.25. So I cut just a standard size of cardstock. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4.25. And I'm just going to use my bone folder here to help give me a nice crease on that. I'm going to add designer series paper right here to the top. What I love about this card especially is that it is super fast and easy. You won't believe how quickly we can make a beautiful card using this designer series paper. Sometimes we just need to let the designer series paper do all the work for us, right? Because it's a busy print and there's no need to, look, I just used the back side of that designer series paper, read on front. So I'm going to take this piece, which is 1/2 inch by 3.5 inches, and I'm just going to place it right there. Ooh, I'm going to turn it around. Not that you'll see much of that print, but I did have it upside down. I'm just going to place that right on top, right there. And then I have my Lost Lagoon ribbon. And what I'm going to do is tie this in a bow. Okay, so I love to tie bows. My people will tell you that. So I'm making a loop and I'm putting the cut end in the front and I'm holding it with both of my fingers. I'm going to loop it around my fingers and push a loop into that hole and create a bow. Thank you. So I love this. You know what's nice is this paper allows you to make good choices because it just is so pretty. So, so pretty. Okay, so I'm going to cut this off right here. So I think that all of our cards today, cut that a little bit more, are pretty simple to make. And cards don't have to be crazy hard, right? What's important is the love you put into it and who you're giving it to, that they will love it, okay? So I'm gonna take this bow and I'm actually gonna put it kind of sideways like that so that the loop in an end shows from one end and a loop in an end shows the other end. So to adhere this on, I'm gonna use a glue dot. Hi, Alice, thanks for joining me. I'm at a new time and a new state, so time for all things new going on today. Okay, so that bow is going to go right there. So then I did something interesting with this little piece here. I took my punch that comes in the bundle, and this is the one that has 8 points, so it's an 8-pointed polygon. It almost looks like the Star of David, if you were to draw a star inside. And I'm just going to slide this in through the bottom, just the end, through the bottom, and I'm going to punch, and it's going to create that little pointy end there. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. slide it in from the back, punch it, and there we go. That is going to create an interesting little label point there using that Lost Lagoon piece of the DSP. So I'm going to add some dimensionals to the ends here, and I'm going to adhere that right over the bow, right like that, okay? Then I have a piece of Whisper White, and I'm going to stamp one of the stamps that say, hello, friend. You know what? It might be a good idea for me to have some blocks over here. I don't know what I was thinking about that. Okay, so here's some blocks. I'm going to stamp hello, friend in Lost Lagoon. Right here on my piece of Whisper White. And I'm going to punch it out with my punch. Try to center it right there. There we go. And I'm going to add some dimensionals to the ends of this one. So that trip to Norway is my trip for the summer. I don't believe we're going anywhere else. We usually try to take a family trip, but now we're here in Midland and we're only about a mile away from my grands, which is super fun. Now these are those pastel adhesive sequins, and I just took the gold ones and I scattered them around. Here we go. They come in a large and a small. I'm going to do one more small one up here. It was so much fun. It was chilly, but again, breathtaking. And it's just so much fun to hang out with Stampin' Up! People that get you, right? They get us. Sometimes us Stampin' Up! People are hard to understand our crazy passion for what we do, right? So there is our first card. Now what I would do is I would take a piece of basic white, and I had another little strip here. Let me bring in my little paper cutter. And you guys who know me well know that I love to cut a strip of paper and add it to the bottom edge. Right, Sue? It's a weird, freakish obsession of cutting paper apart and putting it back together again. But I've never failed to give a card to someone and them say, I hate all the effort that you put into making this for me, right? So it is fun. And I just love sharing what I love with you guys. So thank you for coming. I was nervous no one was going to show up. I'm not sure about this new time, but you know, when I became retired, my husband has sacrificed a lot to help me do this business. And for the past 5 years, I have worked at night after I've gotten off of school every day, and I haven't had much time with my husband. So I'm committed to being able to keep my nights free, and spend more time with him when he gets off of work. So that is one of the commitments I'm making. That doesn't mean I will never do a Facebook Live at night. It just means that is my goal at this time. Okay, so that is card number 1. Isn't that fun? Thanks. So super simple. That's what I like about that card. Okay, let me put this one away. And of course, you will get a kit to make 2 of these, okay? You need the punches, though, and the stamp set. I'm not allowed to, I could punch for you, but that sentiment, you really need to stamp it first, okay? So that's an important thing. All right, my second card came out of kind of a happy mistake. I hope you love this one. This one is really featuring that Lost Lagoon. I love Lost Lagoon. I'm so happy that they brought it back. Oh, it looks like I lost an embellishment from this card here. There we go. I'm glad they brought it back because I think it's a beautiful color. Okay, so this one, I cut my paper 4 1/4 by 8 1/2. I mean, by 4 1/4 by 11. But then I scored it in the wrong spot. So it didn't like line up. So I ended up cutting this piece at 5 1/2, and I end up having my length here is 10 1/2. So it's 10 1/2 scored at 5 1/2, and that's going to make a little flip fold card for us here. So I had to reinvent it, which is kind of fun, really. Okay, so here we go. I'm taking my Lost Lagoon, cut at 10 1/2, scored at 5 1/2. So that leaves a 5 inch by 4 1/4 inch panel on the front. Okay, so I cut first this panel of DSP, and it is cut 4 3/4 by 4, 4 3/4 by 4, and I'm going to adhere that. Has that crushed curry on the other side there. I'm going to adhere this to the front of my card, this front panel, right there. I don't know if you guys can hear my dog snoring over here, but he's enjoying a little nap on my time. And then I have a piece of basic white that I'm going to put on the inside, and it's cut 4 by 5 1/4. I should have stamped it first, but that's okay. It'll work fine. I just can't mess up my stamping. So I'm taking the leaf pattern from the Inked and Tiled stamp set, and I am going to stamp it. Jim's coming in to grab Buster here. I'm going to stamp it on the inside of my card. And I'm trying to remember, I think I stamped it off once and then stamped it right there. Pretty, huh? And then I took a piece of that same designer series paper and I cut it 1/2 by 4 1/4, and I'm just going to adhere it right here to the bottom edge of my card on the inside. Isn't that pretty? That leaf is really pretty. So let's put that right there. There we go. Okay, now this is kind of fun. I took a piece of that Ink and Tiled designer series paper. This is a plaid that features that Lost Lagoon there. And let's see, I need this scrap of white, and then I think that's all I need. I have several ways that we are going to stamp on this card front, and we're going to put the color on the color, which is something I don't do very often. So I'm going to use these tall flowers here. I'm going to use this little flower design there, and I'm going to use those leaves again. And I'm going to bring in all my ink colors. I'm going to bring in my crushed curry, my Calypso Coral, and that Lost Lagoon. So the first thing I'm going to do is ink up this tall flower with the crushed curry. Hi, Roz. Thanks for joining us. And I'm going to stamp this right here on the plaid, directly ink to paper, okay? Then I'm gonna take my leafy design again, and I'm gonna stamp it. I'm gonna stamp it off once, one more time, and I'm gonna kind of have it coming here from the edge, right like that. Isn't that lovely? Then let's pull in our Calypso Coral. How did I know to use all these colors? Because they tell us right here on the back of every package of designer series. Oh, of course, it's not showing on this one. There is an insert. Where is it? I don't know. It tells you all the colors that are in that designer series paper pack. So it makes it super easy. So I'm inking this up in Calypso Coral. I'm stamping it off, and I'm just kind of adding, isn't that pretty? Some flowers coming off here, just to add a little bit of that Calypso Coral there. I love that. Okay, so that is all we're doing on that. I'm going to take a scrap of white, and I'm going to stamp my next sentiment, which is going to be happy birthday. And I really debated. There is no wrong way to stamp this, okay? I really debated what color to stamp my happy birthday. Now, on my sample here, I stamped it in crushed curry, but we could easily use Calypso Coral or Lost Lagoon. I'm going to use the Calypso Coral this time, just to see how it looks compared to the crushed curry. I mean, you know, big decisions we have to make as stampers, right? So, but this case, since they all coordinate, there's really no wrong way to do it. Now, I'm not going to punch this out. I'm just going to trim it down a bit here. And I might not have even needed to do that. But I'm taking this panel and I am punching with the punch I just used right here, that Star of David looking punch. And I'm going to turn this slightly and punch it right there. So now I'm going to add my sentiment behind it, okay? Right like that, all right? But I want it to pop up a little bit. So I'm going to take dimensionals and put it on the back side of this designer series paper. So I'm going to use that little edge strip. I love using the edge strips. It makes me feel like I'm doing something good for the environment, which I wish I was better at that. My friend Kay always says, we need to be keeping the environment in mind, which I totally agree with. Don't want to put too much stuff in the trash, right? Okay, so I'm using a lot of dimensionals on this because I really want it to pop up over this card well. So here we go. Pull it off, pull it off, pull it off. I'm going to hold this and just place my happy birthday right inside my star there. Okay, and then I can cut this little bit off that's hanging over. There we go. Okay, so let me take the rest of my dimensionals off. I kind of like how it created a little window there. What do you guys think? And this is another super simple card. That's kind of been my mojo this time around. Mainly because, you know, I haven't had a lot of time to stamp, and I know that a lot of us are kind of, so I'm going to tilt this a little bit so that my happy birthday is a little straighter. There we go. What do you guys think? Now I'm going to add some of those pastel adhesive dots, kind of scattered around it. Thank you, Kathy. You know, there are moments I have genius moments. I don't know what to say. Doesn't always happen, but sometimes it happens. And Kathy, I wanted you to know I met Rachel Tessman on the cruise, and super sweet. I know that you like watching her videos too, so she was super sweet. It's fun to get to hobnob with some of the big names in Stampin' Up. Like I met Kylie Patucci and her husband Bruno, and they were super, super sweet. There's kind of a funny story there about me looking the worst I've ever looked in my life, I think, when I met them. But they were kind enough not to make me take a picture with them until after I got cleaned up. I'd been on a hike in the rain. So it was a funny story. So anyway, that is card number 2. So again, if you place a $35 order, you know, you can get a card kit to make these 2 cards. So that's the second card. Now we have one more card to go. I love this card. I hope you love it too. Here we go. It's a little thank you card. And I did a little something different with that punch. And this is using this wavy trim. It's almost a burlappy linen feeling trim. And this is part of the Earth and Elegance suite, but I thought it looked really cool there on this card. It kind of gave it that rustic feel. So let's make this one together. So I have a piece of crushed curry cardstock, cut 5.5 by 8.5, scored down the middle at 4 1/4. And again, I'm going to use my bone folder to cut that in half. And then I am taking a bloom from, let me put this one away, from the stamp set, and it's this bloom right here. It's a solid bloom, and it coordinates with the designer series paper. Do you see that? So I'm taking this bloom and I'm going to ink it up tone on tone with crushed curry ink. Thank you, Sue. I think it does too. I tried that Lost Lagoon on this card, and it was the curry just wasn't, you know, it just didn't look as good as I wanted. So you guys, all I'm doing is taking this crushed curry flour and I'm just inking it up and stamping it off and randomly stamping some flowers in the background here. Do you ever have a card that you create and you're like, man, I feel really good about that idea, or something I used that you wouldn't have thought of using? That's kind of how I felt about this card. Using that trim, the Lost Lagoon wasn't doing it for me, and so I'm like, you know, I really like this trim with that, and it's something I don't usually do. Okay, so now I'm taking this designer series paper. It's part of that inked Botanical. You know, you could really use either one, but I wanted the background here to be a little bit more subtle, if you can call that subtle. So I'm gonna add the DSP right here to the card front. And I believe that this is, let me see, what size did I cut that? 5 by 3 3/4, okay? Then I cut a piece of crushed curry, a panel that is 4 3/8 by 3 1/8 is the size of that. And then this is 3 inches by 4.5 inches, okay? The DSP is. Now remember, if you get the card kit to go, you get a PDF that has all the measurements in it. So not only do I cut it for you the first time for the first 2 cards you'll make, but you can replicate it in the future by making your own based on the measurements I give you. Okay, so then I'm going to add this to the top here, but I'm going to pop it up with dimensionals. So let me grab that. Yes, DSP stands for Designer Series Paper. It is what we call all of our printed paper packs in Stampin' Up. So I know sometimes we use these acronyms and these abbreviations, and only those of us, you know, who use them all the time know what they mean. Another one that I didn't know for the long time is the word cased. To case a card means to create and share everything. So when we make a card, we understand that someone may case it. We created it to be shared. So when I say I cased a card, that means I saw a card that I loved and I decided to recreate it for myself, okay? So actually this card was a case in some ways. I changed everything about it, but the general layout, okay. So this is those, I cut a circle, I cut 2 circles here. No, I just cut one. And I cut a circle from the radiating dies. This is one of those online exclusives. I've used this before. You get the cool frames, you get a heart, and you get a couple of circles here. So I cut this one using that circle right there, okay? And I am going to stamp on the inside with crushed curry. And this time I'm going to stamp the word thank you. So let me pull this off of here. And I'm using my crushed curry, and I'm going to stamp thank you right inside that circle, right like that with the crushed curry. Now I did something interesting, is that I used our second punch that comes in this bundle, and I punched some of those, see, those from Calypso Coral. You will need 2, and I'm going to offset them. So I'm going to glue them together like this. Now, could I have just punched this? Yes, I could have. But what I like about this is I feel like by layering these 2 on top of each other, it adds some texture to the card that wouldn't be there if I just punched out a flat, here we go. So I'm just layering those 2 right on top there. And see, it creates that same shape, but it gives some texture and dimension to it that wouldn't have been there otherwise. Okay, I'm going to take my thank you, and I'm going to add it right like that so that these points are out. It's just going to add like a little bit of something to the side of that circle. Isn't that fun? I thought of that all by myself. Sometimes in the midst of chaos, I even amaze myself. I don't know if you guys feel that. Sometimes you're moving and you've got 1,000 things going on and you're recovering from being on a trip, and suddenly some great ideas come to mind. Okay, so I am going to, let's put on our trim first. So here we go. I'm going to cut 2 pieces of this trim. And I tell you what I did. I don't know if it was the best idea, but it worked for me, is that I turned it over and I actually took some Seal Plus and just kind of ran it down this trim. I don't know what I was afraid of. I was kind of afraid that the liquid glue might seep through since there's so much texture. And then I'm just rolling that Seal Plus kind of around this ribbon so that it is this trim so that it doesn't show on the front side. It's super strong, so I know it's going to adhere very well. And I just laid it right there, laid it down. Right there, and then I'm going to do the same thing again. Hi, Maxine. Thanks for joining us. I'm glad you're here. I miss you. Maxine is a team member. Kathy's a team member. Thank you, guys. Chelsea's a team member. So the best part of being on a team, you guys will say, is getting the discount, getting my PDFs for free, having someone there to ask questions, and we all kind of get ideas from each other, which is fun. Okay, so I've got my second piece of trim right there. I like the look of that, don't you? And then I'm just gonna pop this up right there on the side. I just added some Seal Plus to this because this is already popped and this has already got dimension to it as well. So just gonna add that right there. I love the look of that. And then I did not add any embellishments to this, but you could if you wanted to. I just thought it already had enough texture and interest to it that we didn't really need to do that. And also I should have told you, I cut this out of vanilla this time. There is white and vanilla in this DSP, and I decided to use a vanilla piece there. So I have an inside panel here. And what I decided to do on the inside of this, you guys know I love to always have something on the inside. Oh, thanks, Kathy. I love it too. I just took this flower and I just stamped it along the bottom edge here. And that is my interest on the inside. Just bringing the outside into the inside, and let's adhere that to my inside panel. Wouldn't this make a lovely thank you card for a friend? I have lots of thank yous I need to write because a lot of people have been very good and kind to me during this whole transition. So there you go. That is our card number 3. So I will bring them all out here to show you again what all 3 cards look like, and that you will get the kit that will help you make this many cards with any $35 order in my online store using this host code 9RSB6RRE. 9RSB6RRE. It's also in the description at the top of this video. I put the host code there too. So you guys, thank you so much. I'm going to pull my camera up and do all my flips and around so I can say a proper goodbye to everybody. There we go. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm always so humbled that you would take time out of your busy day to watch me create my beautiful cards. I hope you love them. I hope you loved watching me. This is my mojo. This is what I love to do. I love to create and share my creations with all of you. So enjoy a beautiful week. If you're on my email list, you should be getting an email from me tomorrow. I send my emails out every Tuesday with links to upcoming events and classes and sales and specials and all of that. So God bless everybody. I love you. Share me, love me, help me out any way you can. This is a strange transition for me. So I just want to be the best I can be for all of you. So God bless, and we'll see you next Monday at noon. Bye-bye.